Hey, so I had, there we go. So I had an idea. It's probably terrible, probably gonna end up being a huge failure, but I mean, so is everything else I do, so, you know, why change now? But one thing that I really wanted to make sure to do this year was read more books. If you couldn't tell by all of these books behind me, I'm gonna read all of these. I don't own any of these books. I don't think I've read any of these books. I haven't heard of a good amount of the writers on here, but I like the picture. But I wanted to make sure to read more this year because I didn't do that a whole lot last year, which is weird for me not to read. So I decided, hey, something that'll get me to do two of the things I really want to do this year, which is publish more things creatively in some form, and also read more, because I feel like reading more will help me to do the other thing. And I thought, hey, wasn't there something that some YouTuber did a while ago where he tried to read 50 books in 52 weeks? Do that, but don't be that much of a tryhard. I'm sorry. But yeah, one of my favorite YouTubers, I'll put a link down there, he did this thing called 1552, or I don't remember if he exactly did it as a series or if it was just like something he set up for himself. I don't remember exactly, but he tried to read 50 books in 52 weeks, and I'm like, well, I'm already a week late, and I don't think I could do that much. That's a lot. That's a lot of reading, even for someone like me who loves reading. So I decided, okay, what's a better number? You know, not that. Don't keep that. You know, keep the premise of reading a certain amount of books before the end of the year, but make it less books. Because 50 books is a lot of... I don't think there's actually 50 books in this picture here. 50 books is a lot. So I decided, what's a good number I could use? And I decided on 30. That's really bright, and I just realized what kind of light it just casts on my face. Yeah, 30 books in 51 weeks, because I'm a week late. So if I want to read 30 books in 51 weeks, 51 divided by 30 is 1.7. So unless I completely messed up the math there, that's about one book every 2 weeks. So I'm like, yeah, that'll work. And then I decided, hey, do it with you guys, and then after I read the book, do like a video, or maybe even like a live stream, just talking about the books, you know, whatever I feel like I want to talk about and bring up. And there's a lot of things I want to bring up with the book that I'm currently reading, because it's this book has a huge fandom behind it. So yeah, that's what I decided to kind of do, was, hey, I'll say every 2 weeks I'll pick a book, and then I'll do a video or live stream, maybe record the live stream if I can. I don't know if I can do that, or if I can do that from my phone. I'll find a way. I'll figure something out. But yeah, and then every 2 weeks just do that, talk about the book, and then say, okay, this is the next book. And I decided, well, what book do I want to do first? I actually didn't decide this before I started reading a book this year. But I said, hey, I've started reading a book this year already. I'm about 5-6 chapters into it. I'm on the... I'm on the 44th page of it, because chapter 6 is really short. And for those of you that I just showed that, you're like, oh, I know what... Some of you might be like, oh, I know what book he's reading. Or you might just know me and follow my personal Instagram, which I will not put below, because personal Instagram. instead of like the one that I used to just throw out announcements and all that. But yeah, it's like, hey, okay, there's a book I'm reading. I've wanted to read it for a while, and it's a book I'm enjoying so far, so why not just do that for the first book? Okay, so that book is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, I want to say is how you pronounce that name. I'll put a link down to it for like Amazon, I guess, because I don't, the library that I went to get this had 3 copies of it, and if 4 of you want to do this, 1 of you might be screwed, because I have one. This is from the library. I don't know how to, yeah, this is from the library, so yeah, it's but like I said, it's a book I'm really enjoying it so far. I think the reason I'm enjoying it so far is it has kind of very similar elements to 3 other book series that I, not like cliche similar elements, but it's like has very similar elements to, and it kind of like the writing reminds me of Percy Jackson series, love, Harry Potter series, also really love, and the Charlie Brown series, which I also really love, which I thought one you might not have heard of. It's really good. I'm warning you, if you haven't read any 3 of those book series, don't read this. Well, do read this, but don't just read this. Like, double time if you need to read all 3 of those series. There's 5 of the first Percy Jackson books. And then you have all the other ones after that. Long story if you don't know the series. There's the 7 Harry Potter books, and then there's 8 Charlie Brown books. All of which I highly suggest you read the series in one way or another. Even if you just read the first book and you think, it's not that good, at least you can kind of see where I'm maybe coming from. I especially think it's very similar to the Charlie Brown series. Just a warning, if you haven't read those book series yet, they might make you cry like a little bitch baby. Because they kinda did that to me. All of those did that to me at one point in time. So, well, except for the Harry Potter book series, but that's because I'm on book 2. Because I'm lazy, and I tell myself, okay, if you aren't just gonna sit down and book through the series, read 1 book a school year. I'm currently in the 2nd semester, and I haven't read Prisoner of Azkaban yet. I'm totally not procrastinating, even though I really want to read Prisoner of Azkaban, because I love Lupin and Sirius so much, and yes, I know they both die at the end, because I've watched all the movies, but I want to read the books, because the books are so much better from my experience, like with all book series ever, especially Percy Jackson, because the movies came out based on that. They don't exist. We do not say they exist, and if you do say they exist, and you think they're good movies, read the book series so you can see how wrong you are. But I don't want to drag this out for too long. This is already approaching. It's weird. I don't want to do things too terribly long because I know most people don't watch these anyways. Yeah. I really don't want to say a whole lot other than saying, yes, this is what we're reading. We're going to try and do a book every 2 weeks. And then if it gets to the point to coming short on our list, we'll just pick up, a few short books towards the end. A good example for something like that would be Animal Farm. Animal Farm, it's 10 chapters. It's 10 very short chapters if you haven't read it. Which I might make that the last one of the year just to be like, yeah, reread one. I really like Animal Farm, so I'd be willing to reread it. If you have any books that you'd like to suggest, put them down below. I like this because I can be like, hey, I own a bunch of books I've never read. Why don't I read them? And then it's also like, you guys probably know a lot of really good books, because you all, most of you at least, there's some pretty dumb motherfuckers out there who watch these every once in a while, even though most people don't watch this. But there's some really dumb people out there. But most of you are pretty smart people who enjoy reading. So you probably know some really good books that you could like suggest for me to read for this. And then like I said, after the end of the 2 weeks, I'll be back. So yeah, I'll be back on, let's see, this is the 7th, so, well, actually, I'll try and get it out tonight. If I don't, it's the 7th today. If I don't get it out tonight, I'll get it out tomorrow after school. But yeah. So I'll see you guys back here on the 21st, because that should also be a Sunday. If calendars still work, let me make sure that that's still a Sunday. Yes, it is a Sunday. So yeah, I'll be back in 2 Sundays from now, because like I said, Sunday's a good day. So if it ends up being a little less than 2 weeks, I'm sorry. I'll just try and do it Sunday to Sunday. It looks really intimidating, but like I said, I sat down for like a half hour, like less than a half hour, and got through like 43 pages. The book in total is a total of 517 pages, which is a lot, but it's doable. 43 pages will get it to 2 weeks. So, you know, if you read 43 pages a day, it should take you like 14-ish days to read it, or else I'm dumb and just saying stupid stuff. 517 divided by 14. Actually, no, it says you only need to read... if I did this wrong, I don't know why I'm in Algebra 2 right now then. But it says you technically only need to read 37 pages. So, you know. But I felt like 43, 44 technically, because this is the 44th page. And yes, also cool bookmark, I know, it's great. So yeah. Aim for like, 40 pages a day. You'll get it done really quickly. Don't stop in the middle of a chapter. I don't understand why people will just be like reading, and then they'll just stop in the middle of the chapter and be like, I'm done for the day. I don't like people like that. Please don't do that. Please be considerate readers and finish the freaking chapter. It will let you get the book done in less days. And then you can be like, ooh, I'll write down some ideas for stuff to talk about when, just for stuff to ask about in the comments of the chat or whatever I end up doing. So, yeah. I guess that's the end of it for now. The show got a little longer than I thought it would. Just have, a good evening. And I'll see all you guys next time. Whenever I post next. So, that'll be cool. Bye.